Hello, I'm Mike Jones. I'm the leader of your new council, Cheshire West and Chester. This council is replacing the 4 existing councils, and in doing so we are not looking to recreate any of the existing councils in the way they do things. We are looking on building on best practice and creating a new council with a new culture and a new way of doing things. Something that's fresh, lively, innovative and creative and exciting. Something that the members can be proud of and you as residents can be proud of being associated with. We are looking at how our members can integrate themselves and become involved, fully involved in your communities, to work with and support you in living and improving your quality of life. We want our members to be champions within their communities, and in doing so you'll see, following on from this, short interviews with your ward councillors so that you can recognise who they are. They're making commitments and promises to be more involved in your community and to assist you and your community groups in delivering those improvements within your communities.
I'm Neil Ritchie and I've lived in Tilston for the last 20 years. I've represented the ward on the council for 13 of those years. I've been a school governor and parish councillor as well. And I'm now one of your 3 ward councillors for the Broxton ward on the new council.
I'm Wright. I've represented the Malpas ward previously. I'm now one of the 3 councillors on the Broxton ward, and I've lived in the area since 2000, although I've lived in the Test district for most of my life.
And I'm Mike Jones. I'm the 3rd member of the team. I live in Hargrave. I've represented the Tattenhall ward for about 17 years, and I've lived in the area for about 23 years.
First of all, as ward councillor, and having been so for the last 13 years, I'm conscious of all sorts of issues and problems that we've had, and they're mostly related to the fact that we are in a rural area and we're fairly dispersed. We have a number of small communities and access to services is difficult. But I'm also aware of the fact that it is a very attractive place to live. We're surrounded by attractive agricultural landscape, attractive natural landscape as well. But we're also blessed with the fact that we have a number of very good and strong individual communities where we live. Each village is different, and there are lots of groups and organisations, clubs and societies and people doing it for themselves within the villages which make life so good. So I'm aware of that, and I think one of the things that we as councillors need to be aware of is to assist, preserve and enhance all of those activities which make life good in our area.
And I think you're absolutely right. I think we represent so many villages that are just 3 or 4 houses, small hamlets, to our major villages of Farndon, Tilston and Malpas and Tattenhall, of course. And of course they're all individual, and I think one of the things we need to do is ensure that we treat them individually and that we don't treat them all as one and say this is what you're going to have and that's it. It's not one size fits all. It's about working with all our community groups and ensuring that we deliver for them what's best for their villages.
I mean, that's the key thing about our area. We've got such a lot of strengths to build on. We've got parish councils and different groups that work really well, and I think we need to help them work together as well. And the other thing I was going to pick up on that Neil had said about the agricultural area, our area is actually changing and adapting and surviving. We're getting more specialist farms with rare breeds and things, and we're also getting a lot of farms moving over to equine industry, which is showing how we're adapting and changing. We're not standing still. And we've got a very good industrial estate in the Hampton Heath area, which is also very modern, and there's some very good companies in it.
Well, getting about, I think, in our area has been a particular problem because it's very difficult to keep bus services and things like that going on a commercially viable basis. And so it's going to continue to be important for us to maintain and support those bus services in our area and to try and develop and produce new ideas to keep them going. Because it is, I mean, there's quite a significant proportion of our population who don't have a car, don't have a licence, don't have access to their own private transport. And so we've got to make sure that they are looked after.
We do. There's a lot of isolation in our villages, which is not very well seen by the facts and figures and the statistics that government produces. And we need to work with our community groups to try and avoid that isolation.
One of the things you become aware of when you become a mother in the rural areas is that your husband or your partner goes off to work with the car and you get left at home in the village with the child. Now I'm lucky, my husband and I both have a car, but a lot of my friends with young children don't. So once that car's gone to work, they're stuck in the village. So we need to make sure there's facilities in the villages and the villages are vibrant and they don't just become commuter zones. It's got to be a balance. We need a bit of both.
We do, and we need our villages to work together, don't we,
Yeah.
in a much more closer way, and that's one of the things that we can really do for our communities, is build on that good practice that some of our parish councils and community groups do, and actually also help those who haven't seen that, so and give them the support that they need.
Yeah, well, Anne, you touched a little bit earlier on the employment at Hampton and Mike Hugh at Tattenhall, and of course there's Carlton Park as well, which is a major employer in our area. And since the long-standing and gradual decline in agriculture over the years, we are having to rely more and more on different types of employment in our local area. And I think it is important that we maintain the opportunity for those businesses to expand and grow and become established, so that people who live in our area don't have to commute too far to go to work, and that there is a variety of jobs available in our area for people of all sorts of different skills and aspirations. Our job as councillors is to try and be of service to all of our residents, and not only residents but groups and organisations who need help and assistance. So if you do need any help at any time, give us a ring or contact us by email, and I will be more than happy to come out and meet you and see what the problem is and see how any of us can help.
I hope from seeing this film that you feel you can approach me if you have any problems, from any part of the area. It doesn't matter if you're not particularly from Malpas, any part of the Broxton ward. And I hope that I'll be able to help or point you in the right direction for help, which sometimes it's just advice you might need.
And our commitment is to work together and work with our community groups and the parish councils, which you'll see us at on a regular basis. And if there are issues, please raise them with us, and we work together to actually try and solve those problems in our area.